live at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. It was a little bit to get here, but I'm happy we made it. Thank you all. I talked about this morning. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we get you set up for the holidays. This is going to be a really stressful time for everybody, for many persons, right? But it doesn't have to be. And that's why I really sourced out people that I personally know. These are people that I have met with. But this one person in particular, I am super excited to talk about. You hear me talk enough every day. What Just give our intro. When I say that this person, this woman, is a pinnacle of just success, fitness, just inspiration. She does a lot of coaching. She owns a gym. Her and her husband own lots of gyms. But she just really gets it. I think that's the thing that really connects strongly with me. Is she doesn't just deliver a message; she lives the message. She is such a ray of sunlight. She's one of the few people that can honestly say that I can call a friend. If I need something, I would call her. So it's not just a vanity thing. I want to introduce the awesome Dawn. She's coming in right now. Boom. There we go. Dawn, what is up? How are you?
Hey, Vernon, I am doing very well. Super excited to be on with you. You know, I love our calls all the time, so today's even an extra special reason to be here. Thank you. I'm so appreciative. Thanks.
Well, because when you're so welcome. We have such great conversations. And even when we were putting this together, we just wanted to have as many people, but more specifically, women, to know that there's a better way, an easier way, a happier way of go about approaching the holidays or just life in general. Now, I know that I'm this guy, right? And sure, I might know a few things, but I lack some of the equipment that I speak about often. I'll use that key phrase right there, equipment. But there is still a disconnect. Sure, I have an understanding, but I'm not a woman. Let's be real here. So who better to speak than someone who I trust and know? And let's start with this. Who in the world are you? I know you, but introduce the world to yourself.
Well, thank you. So, who am I? I am a woman that is absolutely 100% passionate and driven and excited to help other women lessen the struggle of what are we supposed to look like and feel like at our age? What is going on with our hormones? Why has no diet ever worked? Why am I always beating myself up about I should exercise more and omit more foods? So, my coaching women for 30 plus years, which has been so rewarding to me because I think I take a lot of the stress out of those women's lives. And just a little background on me when I was in my 30s, I did every single thing that I see so many women still doing. I followed every named diet. I ate low fat. I ate low sugar. I followed the grapefruit diet, the baby food diet. I had a treadmill in my living room so that I could make sure whatever I ate, I negated it with cardio. And miserable, beating my head against a wall, that is when I was my heaviest. That's when my hormones were at their worst, and that's when I was my least happiest. So now, being many years over 40 and over 50 and beyond, I feel like I get it. And when people ask me what diet do I follow, I say there's no dawn diet. And at different times in our lives, we have different needs. So, with that being said, I'm a coach, I'm an optimist, I'm a person that tries to help people take little baby steps to success instead of like the whole ball of wax all at once. Because that just ends up being back to that negative voice that we all have in us. And I I try to get women to understand that I struggle too. I struggle with my hormones. I struggle with keeping the weight off. I struggle with time to exercise. I think I have five different incomes and jobs and things that I do. I love every one of them. And I feel like I'm super energized because I do what I love and they all help people. And I hopefully make money at it at the end of the day. But there are things that I'm super passionate about. So that's, I guess, a little bit about me.
You gave us a lot of bit to digest right there. Do you mind if I pull apart a couple of things?
No, go right ahead.
You said 30 plus years of coaching.
Yes,
Wow. Can I be really bold here?
go right ahead. You're going to ask me how old I am.
I was just going to ask you what your favorite color was, but since you went ahead and queued that up, why not? Let's take it.
It's red, and I was born in 1959. So just this past October, I turned third. I was going to turn it backwards. I turned 63. I was going to say 36.
I know,
Okay, so
that's
I
why.
still 36. That's hilarious. I literally was going to say I was 36 years old. I am 63.
You got great energy. I still am amazed by your age. This just goes to
Thank
show
you.
lifestyle because you have the best genes, right?
Yeah, no. I have a thyroid disorder, which most people that have a thyroid disorder are very lethargic and have a lot of extra weight and a lot of other symptoms. My mother was low thyroid. My grandmother was low thyroid. So I took it upon myself to learn as much possible of what could I do, to take care of that. Both of my parents have cancer. My dad's battling cancer right now, but he
Wow.
is 87 and a diehard trooper that, with my guidance and his mindset, is powering through life and golfing 3 times a week. And my mom is doing very, very well. So it's not just genes, it's definitely life. I mean, we're smart enough now to know that it's not the gene pool, it's the lifestyle. Of course, if you're predisposed to obesity or predisposed to heart disease or diabetes, you can surely follow that path, or you can take in as much knowledge as you can and then apply steps to try to ward off whatever you think you're predisposed to be. So it's not just genes, for sure, it's not just genes.
I'm so happy that you said that, and thank you for that, and thank you for sharing that with everybody. About the things that are happening within your family. That really says a lot. You're the real deal. But I definitely want to point out that so many people get caught up in thinking that it's genetics. They do play a role, but it's you look this way because of genetics, and you just clearly outlined that that's not the case. What is
No, you
another?
know what someone said to me the other day? This is so funny. A woman said to me, this is so cute. Do you know why you look so young? Because you're short.
What?
I am 5 feet tall, yes, but I have a big personality. But
Yes, you
I
do.
don't know. I've seen a lot of people that are not very tall, looking very aged and very frail and very weak and very unhappy. So me being short, I'm not quite sure that's the equation to my youth, but anyways,
I have never heard
it
of
was a
height.
new one, that was for sure. It was a new one. I've never quite heard that one before.
I've never heard of height being an issue, being the reason why you age gracefully.
Me neither, but that's okay. I didn't really, I just kind of chuckled.
So you just said environment's a big deal. Is there another big needle mover in terms of a healthier lifestyle, stronger, helping people maintain optimal body weight, however they define that?
100%. Keyword, you just said it, stronger. Because
Hmm.
Vernon, as we age, we lose muscle mass. The least amount as we age, so from the time you're 30, I think the equation is something like you lose about 5 to 8% of your muscle mass over the next decade if you are doing nothing to build any new lean muscle tissue. So for all the ladies that love to count how many calories you've burned and how much cardio you're doing, and counting calories and removing foods, all those things do is deplete your very precious muscle tissue. If you want a needle mover to boost your metabolic rate, to look firmer and younger and be more empowered, it's going to come from strength training that is going to lead to adding muscle. But you can't starve yourself and try to put on muscle. You've got to lift a little bit harder, engage your bigger muscles so that your body gets stronger as you age. Hey, let's face it, I feel personally, and I'm sure some of you might agree, one of the most visible looking aged things on a person is their posture. So, I mean, and I'm sure if anyone's listening right now, if you're sitting down, all of a sudden right now, you're kind of putting those shoulders back and pulling in your belly, you're elongating your spine. So when I look at people that are walking, I look at their posture first, which has to do with how much muscle you have on your body. Because if you can right now elongate your spine, pull in your belly, put your shoulders back a little bit, first of all, you're a little bit taller. And I feel like the way people walk, we walk, first of all, we're looking at our phones and we're looking down, so you're already leaned forward. We don't walk with our shoulders over our hips and our head over our shoulders. We walk slightly leaning forward. And if you talk about one of the biggest things of demise over people over 50 is falling, you're already halfway there if your position is like this. So by getting stronger glutes and having a stronger back and stronger core, all from strength training, you're going to have better posture, which is going to help you age better. You're going to look more youthful. Standing up straight versus hunched over makes you look younger. If you're standing up straight, it's probably because you are aware of your posture and also are aware of how to engage your muscles on your body. So I do coach my parents in our gym, and it is amazing the things that my parents can do that, I will have a 40-year-old woman come in and say, ooh, pick up a 10-pound weight. I don't know if I can do that. And I'm like, lady, your purse weighs 27 pounds and you're carrying it on one shoulder. So it's just like people, mostly women, think they don't have the strength that they have, and they aren't aware of how strength is so imperative as you age for many reasons. So, back to the needle mover is getting stronger, adding more muscle tissue.
Men and women are different, but men and women have lots of things in common, but it's different, right? And you said something I
100%.
really want to jump out with. You talked about food. And me personally, this has been my experience. I see more of food, forever, universally, all of us have a certain relationship with food, but more specifically with women, I see, and this is just from talking to so many clients over the years, that there's some link, a negative relationship with food and women. Is that safe to say? Am I speaking off base
It is
here?
very safe to say, and you and I have spoken about this on our calls. It's like I feel like that is the biggest mental obstacle. Women, so when I coach women, they come in and I ask them to use a MyFitnessPal for 10 days, and I say, I'm not judging you. I just want to see why you have no energy, or why you feel like you can't lose weight, or why. And they're like, ooh, well, I had a birthday party Friday. And I'm like, uh, people eat in patterns, and people are, and especially women. I should just phrase it with women because I've only coached women for 30 years. And I rarely hear men in our gym talk about this. Like, women want to stay after and talk about this. And it's, what should I omit? What diet should I follow? What am I not allowed to eat? If I eat chocolate, how much am I allowed to have? How
Hmm.
am I ever going to lose weight if I can't drink wine? So, right there, all those things are those
Mhm.
messages that have been in women's lives from the time they were 10 years old and probably watching what their mothers did, that it started resonating with. Food is bad. I need to allow myself certain things when I'm bad, and I should omit certain things if I want to be good. And then that misery is over and over and over. So I try to get women, I give them little bits of homework, which at first they're like, wait, what? I don't get it. Like say, for instance, I might coach someone and say, your homework for the next 3 days, and we'll stay in touch every 3 days, is just every day add two more vegetables. Well, am I allowed to drink wine? I'm like, doesn't matter. Add two more vegetables for 3 days. Well, what if I'm going out to eat? Doesn't matter. And it's just like they can't even, they're so wrapped up into the taking on too much that it's very hard to just add three really doable, easy steps for 3 days. And, or if I said, okay, for 3 days, just don't weigh yourself. Well, how am I going to know if I'm getting progress or not? I go, that doesn't matter right now. Right now, we're just trying to shift the way you're feeling about your weight. And do you have to weigh yourself? Because the scale does not tell you anything about how you're eating. If
Mm-mm.
you ate only hot fudge sundaes versus drank a lot of water versus chicken breasts and steamed broccoli, I mean, the scale to me is like a tool of misery. Get rid of it.
Amen
Have
to
your pair
that.
of jeans that when you sit down, you feel great in, or you're like, ooh, I overdid it a little bit this weekend. And if you overdid it a little bit on the weekend, it doesn't mean stop eating or just run for 50 miles like a crazy person. It means add a little bit more fiber, drink a little bit more water. You're mindful of maybe you weren't so great, whatever. You probably had a great time. Good for you. It doesn't mean you were bad. It doesn't mean you did things you weren't allowed to do. It's changing the idea of being mindful of what you're saying to yourself, feeling that you have more choices because there's thousands of choices. And instead of shifting the message of what I'm not allowed to eat, what diet I should follow, it's what is my body missing? Most women are missing protein. Most women are missing fiber. Most women are missing water. So it's like focus on what, you should be eating just a little bit more than the negative words. And that's kind of how I coach my girls. Girls, they're all my girls.
Amen to that. You go. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna throw a fastball question at you because since we're talking about
Oh,
food, we got
okay.
Thanksgiving
I love
coming up.
food.
So do I. But let's
I
just
love
say,
food.
because I do have a couple of questions I have from people who messaged me before, but it really kind of leads up to this. Let's just say,
Okay.
hey, Don, I'm 40 plus year old woman. I'm not, but just speaking, kind of going with the avatar here. 40 plus year old woman who's considered making healthier changes. I want to start getting healthier or make smart decisions leading into the holiday. What you got? What would you suggest?
Oh, this is great. As a matter of fact, I just talking to my mother and my sister. My sister's 11 years younger than me. My mom's 86, talking about,
Oh, wow.
okay, you're the healthy person. What do you want to bring that's healthy on Thanksgiving? Do you want to know what I'm bringing? No one's going to guess. No, I'm not bringing the salad. I am bringing the mashed potatoes and I'm bringing the sweet potatoes. People are probably like, wait, what? Potatoes? Right, but I'm not going to fill the bowl with butter. I'm not going to fill the bowl with milk and fill the bowl with cream. I am going to use probably just regular Yukon Gold mashed potatoes. I will use a little bit of Kerrygold butter, and I'm going to use a little bit of 2% Greek yogurt. You get a little bit of tanginess. It's super creamy,
Hmm.
whips up just the same. You don't even have to tell anybody. So that is still eating potatoes. And yes, I will eat a lot of them, but it's just, and it's not for counting calories or lessening the calories. It's for adding benefits. I'm adding protein to my potatoes. I'm adding digestive enzymes to my potatoes and enough to still make it creamy and palatable. But I like food with benefits. I like everything with benefits, but benefits. That's how I think. So the sweet potatoes, I am going to slice up my sweet potatoes, peel them. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of coconut oil, sprinkle some cinnamon, maybe a couple pats of the grass-fed Kerrygold butter or whatever brand, and bake them. They're going to be sweet from the coconut oil. They're going to have the cinnamon for the savory. And again, both of those things have fantastic benefits. Sweet potatoes are like a superfood, high fiber, high vitamin A, high vitamin C, great for skin, great for, fiber, 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 girls. It's like I know so many women, not sure everyone wants to talk about this because whenever I say we're going to talk about what goes in, how about what comes out? Most women are constipated. So all that means is not enough movement, not enough fiber, not enough water. And we'll just leave that conversation right there for now.
You go. I never heard of mashed potatoes with Greek yogurt. Never. Ever, ever. And now that you say that, I'm like, that does make
Plain
sense.
Greek yogurt, not the non-fat junk. I mean, you want it to keep you full. It's funny how I like to eat, and Thanksgiving could very well be my favorite. I will put too much food on my plate, even though I will act like I'm not putting that much. All of a sudden, you look at your plate, it's loaded with food, and I'll probably eat a third of it because all the things that I'm going to eat are filling. White meat turkey is filling. Mashed potatoes is filling the way I make it. Sweet potatoes are filling. I'm going to eat some salad. Yes, I will put gravy on everything. Um, I will skim off. I'm the gravy maker in the family. I will skim off the grease, but I will still put gravy on everything. I mean, I love it. And I'm not going to say I shouldn't be eating this. It's all going to go to my hips. I'm not going to eat for 3 days. I'm going to love every single bite because I deserve it. I love
Yes,
it.
you
And
do.
you should love food. You should love food.
Food is
It's
delicious.
fuel. It's fantastic.
So you have a completely different mindset about this. Completely different. And I'm learning things about you. So
Yeah.
before I get to the questions, let me ask you this. What is a better mindset to have going into the holidays? Because you just said, oh, I don't want this going to my hips. I mean, that's one heck of a shift.
I've already heard people already talk about, oh God, here come, don't judge me if I'm eating pie. Don't judge. It's like, first of all, that's the other thing, women. Does anyone really care what you do that much as you? Like when I go out with my
Mm.
friends, they want me to order first because they think that if they order, I'm going to order
Yep.
a cheeseburger if I'm at a burger bar. I won't get fries, but I'll get a cheeseburger. I'm probably going
Yes.
to have a cocktail, and it's just like I do eliminate certain things, but there are foods that people, I can't believe you're eating that. I'm like, don't put me on a pedestal because I am energized. I'm older. I'm fit. I'm lean. It doesn't mean that I don't eat forbidden food. I eat them in moderation, and
Yep.
when I eat them, I love them. So, the message to going into the holidays, try to find ways to add more of the foods that do have the benefits. And if you want to eat a piece of pie, eat it. Stop telling yourself you're like a failure and that's why you're fat or that's why you're lazy or that's why your husband isn't in love with you because you're eating a piece of pie.
Hmm.
There's a million things that go with that equation. Being miserable about yourself is a much bigger turnoff than having a little roll around your belly or a little extra on your thighs. Trust me, you know.
Go ahead. That's a mic drop moment. Got it. All right.
I knew we were going to have fun on this call. I knew we were. That's why I
Always.
think that's why I think we're going to end up having more calls like this.
Oh yeah, this is the first. This is definitely the first of many.
Right,
You have so much information, and from a different perspective, right? Because I can speak on
right.
lots of things, but you speak to a much greater perspective. You're a woman. That's a big difference
Well,
between
you
you
know
and
what,
I.
Vernon, I said this too. I really appreciate that when we were having our call last week and you said, wow, I've seen the struggle. The struggle is real and I
Hmm.
get it. So most men are just like, I don't get it. Just like, whatever, dude, do whatever. It's like, it is a real struggle. And
Yep.
as you get older, the hormone thing, that is a booty kicker. Everything changes. If you think you had problems when you're 40, wait till you're 50. You think it was hard when you were 50, wait till you're 60. It does get harder, but it doesn't mean it's not possible for your body to change. It's extremely possible. And the more you educate yourself and put those little teeny baby steps instead of, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. Another thing, I don't ever make a New Year's resolution. I try to make every day a little better than yesterday.
Yep.
Of course, I slip lots of times and fall down and you just get back up. But why is January or why is Monday this magical time? I think maybe some people need that, but I don't see that that's ever a big success. Starting your diet on Monday or starting your plan in January. It's like, why not just today? Go get some more water, add some more veggies to your dinner. Try to not focus on negative thoughts. How about that just today? You know,
We're gonna be speaking on that. Thank you for answering that question. We're definitely gonna be speaking on that, especially with New Year's coming up, right? Because people get caught up in
that's right.
that. I'm gonna push that to the side because that's important, but I don't want to take away from it. Do you mind if I
Sure.
ask you a couple of questions?
No, go right ahead.
You just asked you made a statement about hormones, and the question I got this morning was, how do I maintain weight loss when my hormones are kind of out of whack right now? Are there any tips or anything that they can do?
It could be a really long answer, but a couple of things are hormones play a huge role pre, during, and especially postmenopausal. So for the girls that have issues when they're younger, that fluctuates a lot, but it seems to be more stagnant of the weight gain, the mood swings, the sleepless nights. And each each hormone is just as important as another. So if you have low estrogen, you can't just know what your estrogen is. You need to know what your progesterone is. That's progesterone is the calming hormone. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night and can't sleep through the night, you probably have low progesterone. Testosterone, if you find it really hard to lose weight, if you can't build any muscle, you probably have low testosterone. Do we need these things as we age? Now, this is my personal opinion. I am not a doctor, but I am someone that has done a lot of research and has lots of connection of all sides, medical doctor, naturopathic, hormone specialist, bioidentical. They all matter. So, first of all, you should find a practitioner that you can work with that listens to you and your reasons that you are having issues or unhappy. No, just because you turned 50 does not mean you should now have a belly. Sorry. I actually had someone ask me once, quick weight gain through doing all the same things I did, gained 12 pounds in about 6 weeks. I know by my diet and how I lived that that would be nearly impossible unless I was in my back closet eating donuts every day, which is just not me. So I had to find a new doctor because my doctor basically said, well, what do you think you're supposed to weigh? You're 50 now. I'm like, what? I mean, that doesn't make any logical sense. So, no, because you turn a certain age, you're not supposed to look a certain way or feel a certain way or weigh a certain number. You know your body, and be a good patient though. Try to precisely state what things are wrong when you go to your doctor. You should have thyroid checked, and not just the TSL. There's like I said, this I'll try to keep it simple. I can't keep it simple. Hormones are very important. Thyroid, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. All those things have something to do with how you feel, whether you are strong, whether you are weak, mood swings, weight loss, night sweats, all those things. Just find someone that you can work with and then try to stay educated. Little baby steps, all those things matter. And I've dealt with all of them. They're not fun. But you know what? And the struggle's real. It really is there. And it's not like I obsess about it every day, but I do go every 3 months and get my blood work done. Sometimes I cancel the appointment and say, I'm good. I feel great. No changes. Recently, I couldn't sleep through the night. Sure, there's a lot of stuff going on in my brain, but I woke up at the same time every night at 2:30. Years ago, I knew that when my doctor said, "Do you wake up at the same time every night?" I was like, 2:30, I could run the Boston Marathon. I lay there, eyes, what should I do? Should I get up and do something, or should I force myself to go back to sleep? No, my progesterone went into the toilet. So I am a person that wanted to take action on that. I know there's a lot of controversy around hormone replacement, bioidentical hormone replacement. I am a believer of bioidentical hormone replacement. That's me personally. I took a long time to find somebody that I trusted that works with me on that. So at 63, I consider it a protective measure. We need hormones for a reason, and I've learned that, and I've had good results with it, in addition to my lifestyle.
Fantastic answer. Good God. Love it. Last question I'm gonna have for you, because you touched on it, and that kind of plays into a question I got earlier. But the last question, because I definitely want to, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up. I'm trying to phrase this the best way because now you got me curious about hormones. Someone has stepped into that phase of life, getting hot flashes, notice that the scale is going up. Is there a certain number where they should start having? Do women need to schedule more doctor's appointments as they start going through menopause? That's the best way of phrasing it.
Uh, okay, it's a good question. Not necessarily more doctor's appointments, but get your baseline. If you're going through menopause, get your baseline numbers drawn. And again, find somebody that you can talk to that listens to that you are having issues. If the answer from any practitioner that you see is that's normal for your age, where's that cut? Where's that line? Is there that line that you were 50, 49 on this day? No problems, no night sweats, no waking. 50 tomorrow? Well, hey, there you go. You're 50, 51 now. So no, find somebody that get your numbers checked, and including thyroid. There's a lot more people misdiagnosed or not diagnosed with low thyroid than I think of anything I've ever researched. It's mind-boggling how many women walk around, because it's not just one test, your TSH, not your thyroid stimulating hormone, not just that one test. And that's a huge precursor to weight gain, hair loss, mood swings, sleepless nights, irritability, bone loss. I mean, I could go on and on with thyroid disorders. So get that checked first, then follow up with the possibilities of hormone imbalances. This is a quick answer too. All three of my hormones were in the toilet when I first got my numbers checked. So I was like, oh, okay, I need to have them all added. And you're like, no, because when one thing is added, it changes your body's balance with everything. So your body might start producing a different hormone by adding just one. So it's not like all of a sudden you go to a doctor and they give you all these hormones and that's why women freak out. No, if you find the right practitioner, it should be a very small balance of seeing what your body starts doing on its own. But that's what I mean. You have to find somebody, ask your girlfriends, go online locally, look for hormone replacement specialists, look for someone that practices naturopathic different things with options. I go to a compounded pharmacy, so mine are made directly for me. So compounding pharmacies, that's a huge help. There's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of scary stuff. So a lot of women don't do anything, or they say, "Oh, I heard hormone replacement's terrible and it gives you breast cancer." Well, there are studies back in the day that did show that it was true because they didn't know what we know now. It is a little overwhelming, but try to learn the basic things and try to be a good patient that you go in with specific things that you want to address, not just like, I don't feel good now and I'm fat. you know, doctors kind of don't know what to do with that. So maybe say I gained this much weight in this much time. Just try to keep it simple and find simple answers, even though we've got a complex, we're very complex. Our bodies are complex. Everything, our stress levels add weight, our happiness, you know, it all goes together. So you can't fix everything all at once. Just try to do little baby steps and things that alter everything for the long haul. I
I
hope
gotta.
that answered it.
The fact that you're just like, oh yeah, it's just this. You take a little bit of lemonade, a little bit of water. You're just throwing this out like it's nothing. You go. Wow.
Well, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I am even more passionate because I feel like I used to be fascinated with how the body worked. Now I spend way more time researching why the body doesn't work when it doesn't.
Hmm.
Why all of a sudden did this happen? Why all of a sudden do you have total stomach aches? Why all of a sudden is your energy like not happening? So I spend more time researching and looking for answers to why the body doesn't work the way it should. And it should work at every age. It should. And it can. It can.
You flippin' go. I say flipping because I'm trying not to cuss, but wow.
That's okay. Right.
All right,
Yeah.
so check this out. I want people to know one, how they can get in contact with you. Well, that's more two. Number one, what are three big tips, or what are some tips that you can share? Just 30 seconds rapid fire that can help
All right.
people stay
30
on
seconds.
track. Um,
All right. Three tips. Focus on what your body is missing. Do you need more
mm,
sleep? Do you need more fiber? Do you need more hydration? Focus on that and plan on 3 to 5 days of work getting more of that. Not like 100 things, whatever that is. Focus on adding muscle. That should be the number one thing. Engage every muscle in your body. Um, if you love to do cardio, fantastic. I'm not saying don't do cardio, but you've got to get stronger. You've got to prevent age related muscle loss. That will raise your metabolism. You will, it fixes a lot of things. Fixes how your brain thinks. Yeah. Let's see, what's my third thing? Third thing. Probably eating without a disclaimer. Try to get used to
mm.
hearing what you keep repeating to yourself. If you're always saying, I shouldn't be eating this, or oh my God, I'm going to dinner tonight and I'm going to be so bad, try to hear what you're saying because your body will probably follow that thought process that you keep believing about yourself. You're not a failure. You're not doing anything wrong. Focus on the things that you can do a little bit better. Even if you go out and have drinks and eat cheeseburgers, don't talk about how bad that was. Get over it. It was probably amazing. Just the next day, don't do it every single day. It's like, so the mindset, really pay attention to what you keep repeating to yourself and try to shift that a little bit with a little more positive feedback that you are capable of change, you are capable of getting stronger, you are capable of picking better choices. Doesn't mean all the other things you did were bad. That's my three.
You, Jesus Christ. Wow. Thank you for giving me some reminders too. I appreciate that. Don't,
Right. I mean, I kind of reminded myself when you asked me that, I'm like, I kind of reminded myself that, yeah, I mean, yeah, I celebrated my son's birthday last night. I ate birthday cake and ice cream and drank champagne and made tacos. And, I tell you, I feel I need a little more water and a little more movement. So it's like,
you,
yeah.
this is why I have you. It's so important. Like, we all need reminders. I definitely do. But you definitely showed me more and taught me something. People who see what you're saying, they love your vibe, they love your energy, they love your information, they want to know more. How do they get in contact with you? What's your contact? What's your website? Talk to us.
Okay. So it is, you'll love this name. So www.constantenergyfitness.com.
I'm gonna make sure I put
So
that in the notes.
constantenergyfitness.com is my blog. You can sign up there if you want. I send out a newsletter quite regularly. I have a lot to share. And you can get a free instant download and a free report if you add your email on there, which I will not share with other people. That will put you into my private newsletter where I talk about anti aging tips, tools, energizing things, how to hack diets, and how to live happily in a great body that keeps long and strong for every decade. So, constantenergyfitness.com. Then you'll see a little spot that it says free report. Send me your best email and I will get you started on a path to happier, leaner, more energy, longer living, better life. That's my goal.
Phenomenal. You're not just a message, you live it. You live it. I want to thank you a ton for giving us this, and I know you're coming back. You don't have a choice because I'm boxing you in. But you got too much to share.
Part two.
You can help women. You can help so many people out. What I'm going to do for everybody that's on my newsletter, if you're not on my newsletter, fix that, and you know how. Shoot me a message. Dawn is actually be sending Dawn's information out tomorrow morning. If you want to be a part of that, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to add that to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dawn, for having us, for being here and having us into your world. Is there anything you want to go say before we leave? Any final message? Any thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. Enjoy the holidays. Spend more time doing things that make you happy.
Woo.
And add superfoods. I'm all about superfoods. Doesn't I'm not telling you to take out any other thing, just add what your body's missing. Don't focus on what you shouldn't have. Add what your body is missing. So I'll just leave it with that. And the way to contact me, and Vernon, you can post my follow along workout video program that I offer.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of ways to I can reach out, and I would love to make everybody happy and healthy.
Word. Dawn, thank you, my dear. This has been legit. I can't wait to have you back, especially for New Year's. That's going to be hot. That is hot, hot, hot. Because even what you said
Oh
got me.
yeah, bring it. I'm excited. I would love to talk about that. So we can talk about why you do not need a New Year's resolution. Yes.
That's the topic. That's the title. Done. Love it. Don, thank you.
Okay.
I will see you when I see you, which is gonna be really soon. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don, it's been a pleasure, and I will talk to everyone soon. Health, happiness, and everything in between. Bring you to Survival God to make the Thanksgiving, the holiday season, even better. All right. Thanks,
Thank
Don.
you, Vernon. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea.
Thanks, dear.